It truly is the greatest time of the year, the time of giving, and we have been given the greatest gift of all, the official trailer to the Mario movie. This has come with a lot of hype and a lot of controversy, particularly around the actor who has been chosen to play the titular plumber, Mr. Chris Pratt. I am a fan of Chris Pratt. I like his work. I think he's done solid jobs all around. Maybe except from the Jurassic World series, but other than that, yeah, I like him. But even I have to wonder, why didn't they go with Charles Martinet? I mean, he's been voicing the iconic plumber for 30 years. I mean, he is the defining voice of Mario. But if I had to speculate, I would say this was less on Nintendo and more on the Hollywood side. You see, I don't believe that Nintendo would do in their Golden Boy like that. It doesn't make any sense. Charles Martinet has been doing the voice of Mario for about 30 years, so it doesn't make sense for Nintendo just to drop him on the dime. This smells of Hollywood and the studio systems and producers and shady stuff like that happens. In a recent interview, Quentin Tarantino, who is one of the greatest directors of our time, talked about his experience dealing with a producer they know. He pitched a movie to them and he had an idea of who he wanted for the lead. The producer came back and said that he wanted this bigger actor in the role, all because it would make him feel better and it would be easier for the studio to market this to general audiences, apparently, because, they have to sell stuff, I guess. And I feel the same thing happened with Charles Martinet. I feel like when Nintendo was pitching this to Universal, who owns Illumination, by the way, Universal was like, yeah, we like this, but we're not so sure about this Charles Martinet. How about we bring in Chris Pratt, who's fresh off the heels of the Jurassic World series? Makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong. As I said before, I am a fan of Chris Pratt, and I actually think, contrary to popular opinion, that he's actually going to do a good job. I mean, he's a good actor, and he's been in this situation before where people have doubted him before. Take, for instance, when he was cast in Guardians of the Galaxy. Everyone was like, oh, that little dweeb from Parks and Rec? He's going to be playing a superhero? He came out and he was one of the highlights. I mean, Star-Lord was such a fun character, A more recent example is the Terminal List. Everyone was like, oh, he can't play this hardened Navy SEAL, and yet he blew it away in that role. I mean, he was phenomenal. Now, I don't believe for 1 second that Chris Pratt is going to phone it in, playing the most iconic character ever. From the heavens, he's been granted the most perfect opportunity of all time. I do not think he's going to take advantage of it. I know there's all the people saying, oh, well, he doesn't sound like Mario. Well, you know what? Anya Taylor-Joy doesn't sound like Peach, yet no one's giving her anything about it. Charlie Day sounds nothing like Luigi, and yet no one's giving him anything about it. It's only been Chris Pratt, and I understand it is the iconic plumber himself, and I know all the nuance behind the story. Now, we're not going to be hearing a perfect impersonation of Charles Martinet from Chris Pratt, but he's going to bring his own moxie into it. He's going to bring his own attitude into it, his own fun demeanor. I mean, that's why I love him. He's such a fun and just a down-to-earth kind of actor, and you don't see that very often. I'm excited. I really think that he's going to do a phenomenal job. Based on what I've seen from the new trailer, it looks a lot better than the kind of sloppy performance that we got from the teaser. So this makes me more excited for the film, but I want to know how you guys feel about this. Let me know in the comments below how you feel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.